the Hebrew classes going again in the fall, classes starting, I think they said the first week of September. I don't remember the date off the top of my head. But I just wanted to let you all know that our class will in fact continue. Well, we can be a group together. What I'm trying to say is you guys do not need to register when that registration opens, okay? All you have to do is tell me so the option that I'm opening up to you or presenting you is that you can stay with me and we will continue and we will stay as a class. I told them I would be happy to teach one class. So anyone from my morning class that was last semester or my afternoon class are welcome to continue with me. I believe we'll do it in the morning. We'll do this time slot and we will create our own curriculum. We'll figure out what you guys need to keep working on. Promise Ashrei will be in there, whether you want it to or not. It's my thing. It's going to be there.
Yay, Ashrei.
Yay, Ashrei. And it just kind of dawned on me this morning, thank you to Eileen, because she caused me to take out my Ein Eloheinu book. And maybe what we'll do as we review some prayers that we've done before, we'll talk about the meaning of certain words. So I didn't focus on, and I laid out to you last semester when we started Ein Eloheinu, that I felt there was more English in this book than Hebrew, and that my job was to teach you to become more fluent Hebrew readers, and that you can read English perfectly well on your own. So I didn't go through the book with you page by page, but Eileen asked at the end of class last week if we could go back to the first prayer, Ein Eloheinu.
Actually, what I meant was singing it.
That's
when
fine.
You first started with us, we had to sing it. And
okay,
that's exactly what I meant. I didn't mean go back to the book.
But you caused me to open. So I opened my Lev Shalem to the prayer, but then I decided, let's see how it started in Ein Eloheinu, the book. So I opened the book, and here's where I got the idea that I can now talk to you guys about when the first letter of a root word changes, how it changes the meaning. And, that's layering on additional knowledge for you guys that I didn't really focus on before. So I think that's valid. And certainly there's a lot more practice worth doing to keep you moving forward on your fluidity of sight reading a lot of words, particularly prayers. But in addition to that, appreciating that a prayer like Ein Eloheinu has words that sound so alike, but yet have different meanings, right? Keloheinu, Cheloheinu, Leloheinu, Eloheinu, Adonenu. So, we can do some work with that too. And I think if you have other suggestions, I know Mary Ellen would like us to read a bit from the Chumash, actual Torah, which we'll get to. That's why I asked you all about having Eitz Chaim books. But I'm open to moving in various directions based on what you guys are comfortable with, where you still want to go, etc. There's so much we can learn. And I think we are a very cohesive class, and we will stay together.
Great.
Good. Welcome, Sivi Ann. I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. So with that, all right, everybody has a prayer book of one color or another?
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. All right. Now, and you can have your Ein Eloheinu book if you like too. All right. So, wait, Eileen, you want us to sing? Well, I think we should read before we sing. Okay.
But I'm betting that Eileen wants the traditional melody, right?
That might be the only melody I remember.
I like that melody anyway.
Okay, well, that's good. I didn't tee up anything to play for you guys, so you have to put up with me or one of you. Maybe, I know, maybe Geraldine can lead us.
Ooh.
She's our resident
Good.
beautiful
good voice,
singer.
Good ear.
I did not practice with Edith Magruder this week. I admit that it's been a very good week, but I can't do that. I can get
I'm
the
Don't
happy
worry,
melody
to.
I don't
going,
mean to
but
put you on the, I
I'm
don't mean to
happy
put you on the
to.
spot.
I'm happy to
Okay.
try.
Okay, well, so everyone have Enkelhainu open? Do you need any page numbers?
Yeah.
no.
04. 04. Left
Okay,
one.
so yeah, page 204 in Lev Shalem. If you have Sim Shalom, the bigger Sim Shalom, it's 508. I didn't look up the page in the smaller Sim Shalom.
Page 182.
Thank you. You're on top of it. Okay,
What a team. What a class.
okay.
But you said 204 in the left Shalom?
Correct, Eileen. It's
Yes.
204. Yeah.
204 in the big Lev Shalem, the red book.
Barbara, good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Nice to see everybody else too.
Right back at you.
Okay,
Oh, I am Kalahina.
you good? Everybody see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if it's in this book. What is that?
So we're gonna read first. Are you guys comfortable reading to me or you want me to read to you?
We can read to you at this point.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you have to
We
be
love
brave,
to
ladies.
read to you.
Okay, I'm gonna start in the top corner of my screen, so you guys be ready. Eileen, you're in the top corner, so will you read the?
Well, can I start by listening, please?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, Marlene, you got your hand up. You start for me.
Thank you. Are we speaking or are we singing?
I think we should read first before we sing to
That's
get our
fine.
pronunciations good.
Okay, then words only. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kimalkenu, Ein Kamoshienu.
Very nice. Thank you. Sibby Ann, will you do the next sentence, which is four phrases?
Hello?
Yes. Me Keloheinu, me Kadonenu.
All right, so
Me-
stop right there.
What am I doing
So
wrong?
so unlike in the first sentence where there's a dot in the chaf, here there's not. So each of me chelohenu, right? There's no dot. Me chadonenu. You see how that is?
Yes, thank you for noticing it. Okay. Me,
And that's why we start with reading before singing.
me, I can't say that. Me Keloheinu, me Kadonenu, me Malkenu, and me Kamoshienu.
Perfect.
Oh my-
Thank you. Good. Audrey, next.
Are we at noon?
Yes, we are at none.
Noda Lelo Henu,
Mhm.
Noda Lado, I want to say not. Oh, that's two dots. Okay. Ladonenu, I should know that. Node Lemal Kenu, Node Lemoshienu.
Yes, very good. Those dots, I know, are little tiny.
They're better without my glasses, so.
Okay. Linda, will you do the bet?
Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu.
Very nice. Thank you. Lorraine, will you do the olives?
Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Lovely. Thank you. And Barbara, the last lines?
Atahu Shektiru, Abutenu, Lifanecha, Et Katorat, Ha Samim.
Very nice. Thank you very much. All right, ladies. So there we have it. So the tune I know for this is Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu. Is that the tune y'all know?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can
Mar-
we over the last two lines because I really never learned them since.
Sure, we'll go, sure, I'll be happy to go through that. Okay, so the last two lines starts with ata, who, and this next word, shehik tiru. Shehik tiru avotenu lifanecha et ketoret hasamim.
Okay,
And-
and in the word shekitiru, where do you get, is that because of the yud? Is that why it's a T?
So, okay, so you get the shin, the hay, the kuf,
Right, I'm
then you have
finding,
it, then you have a tet.
okay,
So that tet has one dot under it with the yud, so that's T,
okay.
followed by resh and a vav with the dot in the middle for ru. So
got
shehik ti ru, and it divides up nicely in syllables, each two letters. Well, if the yud goes, so it's 2 letters, 3 letters, 2 letters for the syllables. Okay, and then the last word, hasamim. So you have a samach with a dot in the middle and a mem with a dot in the middle. We're going to ignore those dots in the middle, right? They don't really mean anything to us. Okay. Other questions?
The last line, please. Oh,
Sure. Lifanecha et ketoret hasamim.
lupa. The first word, lupa.
Lifanecha. So you have the
Necha.
lamed, and then you have a fe, which is a ph sound with a little t under it for fa. Necha.
Ka, necha. Got it.
Okay, good. Any other questions? Okay, so here's what I would like to do. Geraldine, are you comfortable leading us in singing? If not, I think Marlene is.
Well, which version would you like? Because I found 3.
You know,
Whoa.
3 versions.
I only have one.
Oh.
I defer to Geraldine if she's got 3 and I only have 1.
You know, I probably know more, but I only can start out in my head with 1. So
I've
here's
never
your-
heard the one.
Okay, so here's my, Eileen, did you want to say something?
I can start if you want me to sing.
Well, I'm curious now that Geraldine said she's got 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to overstep.
No, okay, so
Sorry.
here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I want everyone to mute, or I can mute you guys. Doesn't matter. Either way we do it. But Eileen, you're gonna unmute and start us off, okay? And then what we might do is we might switch to a different version that Geraldine knows if some of us also know that version. Okay? So Barbara, you have to unmute or we won't hear you.
It's not a long song. I wonder if we couldn't go through it the old-fashioned way that it looks like a lot of us know. And then I would be very interested in having Geraldine tell us the other 2 ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to
Alright.
say. Exactly. So we'll
Okay.
do I think Eileen's version is the traditional version, the one that I started singing. That's perfect. And then exactly, maybe we'll learn another version. So Eileen, will you unmute yourself? I can't hear you until
I'm only doing the beginning, right? I'm not doing the whole thing.
well, I'll sing with you, and sure, you're welcome to mute
Well,
yourself.
maybe everybody could sing it.
Right. Well, that's why but you have to, guys, you have to mute, or we're singing over each other and it messes everything up, right? So so Eileen, I want you want to do the first 4. You know, how far do you want to go? And you're welcome to mute yourself at any point. How's
Okay.
that?
Whatever you want.
Um,
I'm
Right, so-
lost in the translation, I guess.
It's okay. Okay. You start whenever you're ready, and then I'll pick up whenever you stop.
Okay. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kamalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Keloheinu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kamalkeinu, Mi Kamoshienu.
No del Eloheinu.
No, I didn't know you want me to keep going.
Sure, keep going.
No doubt. Lama, wait, no doubt. I'm having trouble seeing, that's why. No doubt, Lolo. Hey,
You.
no doubt. Wait, I can't see it. Is it also in this book larger?
It's not larger, but it is in that book. It's on about page 10.
Hey, no doubt. Lama, la donenu. No della malkenu, no della moshienu, Baruch Adlo, Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkenu, Baruch Kamoshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkenu, Atahu Kamoshienu, Atahu Tiru, Avotenu, Lufanecha et ha. I lost the tune.
Here, so Atahu Moshi.
I lost the tune by the end.
Yeah, so I'll do the last line. Atahu shetiru avotenu lefaneha et ketoret hasamim. Okay, thank you. That was excellent. All right, so Geraldine, I am so curious what other tune you have.
Okay, you ready?
We're ready.
Elohenu, and Kadonenu, and Kalenu, and Kamoshienu, me, Kalohenu, me, Kadonenu, me, Kamalkenu, me, Kamoshienu. Hey! Okay, and Kalohenu. Have you heard that one before?
I do know that one, absolutely,
Okay.
for sure.
All right, then. That was lively enough because I had to read the notes too, and I was, woo. All right, okay.
And what's the third one?
Oh, well, I gotta come back to me. I need to read that a little
Well,
bit
if you
better.
don't know it, it's fine. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. I was just curious.
Come back to me for a minute. Let
Well,
me
okay,
go
so-
through this one.
So how many of you guys know the tune that Geraldine was just singing, our second tune? Oh, almost everyone. Yeah, well, that's great then. Okay. So maybe we should continue on with that one, Geraldine. You want to go back to that second one?
Okay.
So will you start with no death?
No. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. No.
No. No. No. Are y'all singing? Am I the only one singing?
No, I think they're singing. I just muted them because
Oh.
otherwise you're fine.
I don't hear anybody. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where am I? Mashienu, hey, and Galohenu, and Gadonenu, and Kemalkenu, and Kamoshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch
Moshiach.
Adonai.
Moshiach.
Which one am I? Hey, Atahu. Is that where we are?
Yeah, we can do that one. Yeah. This is the tricky one because there's too many syllables for me. So you do it. Atahu.
Oh, is it too many? Okay. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up because I gotta try to read it all. All right.
That's okay.
Is that good enough? Is that y'all got the taste, right?
It's fine. It's lovely.
Okay, good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Okay.
Learn how to practice.
No, that was excellent. You know what? I think this is fun. Maybe we can find some other prayers where Geraldine has music for it and we can practice. I'll have to talk with you between classes to find out if that's all right.
This was one of my gifts that I received, which was so beautiful. I love it. It's my fun book when I'm trying to have fun with
I've never seen that
learning
book.
Hebrew.
You know, I can't sight read music and sing it, so that book would be no help to me whatsoever, but I'm so glad you can, Barbara.
I think there's an Avi Schwartz on YouTube of him doing it with this second tune of
Okay,
that Gerald just taught us.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
excellent. I'll look up some of these. This will be fun. I like this notion. Okay, see that? Old friends get together, certain things we know, but we can add on and make them new and change them. All right, so y'all are welcome to unmute. But so now that we have read it and we've sung it and we appreciate the similarities and slight differences from line to line, if you have your Ein Eloheinu book, open to page 10, and we can talk about the what to call it, the structure of the prayer, and then the change in initial letters that changes the meaning of the prayer. If you don't have it, I can pull it up on my screen.
Was that our beginning?
Yeah, so the blue book, the Ein Eloheinu book.
No, that's the second one.
Find it in
Right.
PDF.
Page 10.
Okay. On the left one.
I can share my screen if you don't have it.
Okay.
Please do.
Okay.
I don't have my book.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm sure I've got it. I just don't know where I stuck it, the PDF of it.
Not a problem. I opened it before class so that I would have it. So let me just,
Audrey, it's our second book, not the first one.
Thank you. That's what I need then. Okay, that's what it would be. I've got
okay,
different files for different semesters.
okay. Can everybody see it here?
I've
Yes.
got,
Okay,
got it.
so, okay. You're welcome to either look at my screen or look in your book. It doesn't really matter to me. So the structure of the prayer, as he shows us, is 4 phrases make up 1 line. And there are a total of 5 lines. So Ein means none or nothing. So Ein Eloheinu. So there's no one like our God. Ein Kadonenu, no one like our Lord. So the K here is for the concept of like, comparison. Ein Kemalkenu, our king. Ein Kemoshienu, our deliverer. So we know the word melech. Melech is king. So Kemalkenu, Malkenu, the new is our. So you add the k for like our king, okay? And each of these has nu on it, right? Ke Eloheinu, Kadonenu, Kimalkenu, Kimoshienu. So this is our, it's all possessive. Then you go to this,
Can I ask you
yes,
a quick question before you get to the second line?
yeah.
So does the name of the word Moshe come from Kamoshienu?
I don't think so,
Okay,
but I'm not, well, or you know what? I don't know the answer to that.
okay, not a big deal.
But you're absolutely right that the root here, Moshe, would sound similar, but I don't know the root for deliver.
Only because he did a lot of delivering for the Jews.
Well,
And the
clearly
word-
he did. Clearly he did.
The new is interesting because it's the same in French and Spanish is nosotros. So it sounds like they all came from the same place at one point.
And
Interesting.
I bet there's a lot to that. And I'm just not knowledgeable on that.
No big deal, just curious.
Thank you. Okay, so me, our second line starts with me. Me, the word me means who. So again, I think the typical English translation is who compares to, who is like, right? So me, Eloheinu, me, Chadonenu. So here, all of these Eloheinu are Lord, right? God, our God. And then you have Adonenu, which they're translating as Lord. And then Malkenu, Melech, King, and Moshienu, deliverer. So who is like our God, who is like our Lord, who is like our King, who is like our deliverer. The issue of why the k has a dot in it for a hard sound and the ch without the hard sound, I don't know why they chose one versus the other. And again, this is probably stylistic, I'm guessing, but I don't know beyond that. Okay, so then we get to the word nodeh. And nodeh, as you can see in the translation, let us give thanks, or to give thanks. So leloheinu, again from Eloheinu, so to our God. The El prefix is for the concept of to. Nodeh ladonenu, let us give thanks to our Lord. Limalkenu, to our King, and to our deliverer. Okay, now we get to the Baruch. Oh, so here's where he was showing us there is no the word who, and let us give thanks. So I didn't really want to spend a lot of time on his very interesting thought question, which is why are the stanzas in the order that they're in? But there's a quick answer. So we have the Aleph, the Mem, and the Nun. They spell the word Amen. So whoever wrote this, and just like poets see more things in their poetry than we probably see the first several times we read it, the author of this prayer wanted to spell a word. And I didn't know that this was there. And, all these years I've sung this prayer. And until I read this book, I never noticed the Amen. And it's just an extra level or layer of thought, I think, in prayers, which is wonderful, right? So much going on, as I say, because to me, it's poetry. So, but he also, there are so many acrostic prayers in our prayer books, particularly in our machzors, obviously. And
in Psalms, there's a lot of acrostic Psalms.
There you go, exactly. And I always thought, I was taught as a child that in the early, centuries of Judaism, when there weren't prayer books for everybody, it was one way to get people to remember easily the order of a particular song, right? The order that the lines came in. And sure, that's an easy answer to give a young child who's learning the alphabet and who's also learning these prayers at the same time. And one reinforces the other. There are so many acrostic prayers that follow the alphabet in order, right? So, but this one is more complex than that. Okay, so now we get to the Baruch, or Baruch. So let's see what he says about Baruch. A moment ago, we sang the grand Amen for the entire Jewish service. What are we doing now? We're back at the beginning. We proclaim our praise to God never really ends. As soon as Jews say Amen upon the completion of a prayer, we're ready to start again. So he gets the idea of the Aleph, Mem, Nun, Amen, and then we're ready to start again with the word Baruch. So blessed, right? Which again is a concept that someone who is very learned and, in my opinion, very creative can do that when they're writing. So the idea that we start over with how do we start prayers? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. We start back at the beginning. But here, because it's in the style of his prayer, he repeats the Eloheinu, Adonenu, Malkeinu, Moshienu, just like he had at the beginning. So,
Wait, go back to 13.
Yeah.
Well, I was struck by the last line there because the last two lines don't even seem like they fit in. And in most prayers where there's a lot of repetition, you don't find two lines at the end that don't jive with the beginning part. And I thought this was really interesting about the Middle Ages, that statement on the bottom.
So in the late Middle Ages, the 5-stanza Ein Keloheinu was amplified by an additional stanza that deals with the incense offering during the time of the temple. So yeah, and we wouldn't have an appreciation of that if he didn't point it out.
I wouldn't. It always struck me that those two lines, which I always found more difficult.
Exactly.
Why were they there? And this kind of answers the question.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just. Exactly. So some of what comes next, I think I already explained, which is, yes, so me is who, ein is there is none, or in this case, there is none. Who is he? Atah is you, and Baruch is blessed or blessed be. So, and he talks about how to get from the root of the word Adon to Adonai or Adonenu, right? And that's how all of Hebrew works, that we have a root. Often it's just 3 consonants, and then we add on to either the beginning or the end, or both the beginning and the end, to make the word possessive or change the tense of the word, etc. Okay? So that's what he's talking about here. The core of a Hebrew word is usually in the middle, and then you get a prefix or a suffix. Let's see.
Rachel,
Yes.
what do you think is the difference between Lord and God?
You know, that I have wondered that for a very long time. And I don't have an answer for you. I'm open to what you guys think about that. I think I've said to you on more than one occasion, I'm not a particularly spiritual Jew. I am more of a I like the ceremony. I like the practices. But I've never felt, I mean, I would go so far as to say, I don't think about God a lot. That's how I'll put it. Now, I know there are lots of ways to refer to God. And because I don't think about God a lot, I think I have not spent a lot of time focusing on why are there so many words for God? Audrey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably similar to you in terms of spirituality, and I haven't overthought this. I haven't thought about it much, but especially on the high holidays when you encounter the various terms, I think if I assume that the English is a good representation of the Hebrew, I think God is very ephemeral and hard to quantify or understand. Lord is the one who's in charge of you in a way, and King is similar to Lord, not exactly, but I think they are making God more easy to understand, or they're different aspects of the way we interpret God, because God can be benign, God can be all-knowing, God can be fairly human in the way that we interpret God sometimes. And I think the various terms embody those meanings. I also, and I don't, I'm assuming now that Jesus didn't really come back from the dead, and but I think that maybe in Christianity, Jesus is a really very human embodiment of God. That's how I always thought it was kind of nice that those guys had that. But that's how I see it. And then apropos of nothing, except the two lines at the end of Ein Keloheinu that Eileen was just talking about. I just on this last trip to Israel, I learned that at least in Israel, they were still doing sacrifices in the Middle Ages. So I don't know what they were doing elsewhere, but that was a big surprise to me. I just did not know that. I don't know whether they were just animals or whether there was also human sacrifice, but I got the impression that there was also human sacrifice. And do you know that valley that's like the valley of hell, or do you know what I'm talking about in Jerusalem? Anyone know? I'll have to look up the name. I've heard about it for years, and we were right at the edge of it, but I couldn't look down, and because it's populated, but they call it that because there was sacrifice there. So sacrifice is not as old as we think. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, and so back to the point Eileen was making, which is the very end of the prayer. So saying Atahu Shehiktiru Avotenu. So your Shehiktiru is a new word to me. It's not a familiar word, but it says our sovereign. Avotenu. Avotenu is our father to me. That's the simple translation, but they say deliverer here. And then they say, you are the one to whom our ancestors offered fragrant incense. So Avotenu lifanecha et ketoret hasamim. So to you, our father, they offered this offering of incense. So I get that. Okay. This was interesting. I'm glad we can, embellish this way and increase our appreciation for a particular prayer that we're working on. So with that, I'm just curious. I'm going to turn the page in our textbook. And maybe this will get you guys with a little more frequency to just take a look back at some of his commentary, because it is so interesting. So he goes into Adon Olam next, which we're not going to do today. But I'm just wondering, of course, I don't have it marked. Okay, so let's go to Shema, which he begins
Oh, excuse me.
on page 45. Let's see. He talks about an Aliyah, and then he gets to the Shema, page 46, really. And in our book, Lev Shalem, if you want to go to that. I can find the page, just give me a second.
Wait, I missed it.
155, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, 155 in Lev Shalem. 346 in Sim Shalom, but 46 in our textbook. So, and we all are familiar with Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. So the first word Shema is from the root word Shomea or Shin Mem Ayin, which is to hear or to listen, depending on the usage of the word. So as a child, again, you think it's a command, hear, but it dawned on me that I think the command for me made more sense as listen, not just hear this, but listen, embrace this. The Lord our God, the Lord is one, right? And it becomes the concept of hearing something or listening is very important throughout Jewish prayer, honestly. I learned this as an adult, particularly many years ago, over 10 years ago now, close to 15 years ago. I don't remember exactly when it started. I was paired up with some lovely gentlemen at my synagogue. These gentlemen are, well, may he rest in peace, old enough to be my dad. He just recently passed away, one of them. We did the mitzvah of bringing shofar blowing to those who couldn't get to synagogue. And he started doing this. I called him the roving shofar blower. His name was Bernie. And decades ago, he would go to local hospitals. He would literally walk around and look for names that sounded Jewish to him on the doors. This was when anyone could go in a hospital and visit someone. And he would go in and say, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I don't think you're going to make it to shul for Rosh Hashanah. Can I blow the shofar for you? So it was a marvelous mitzvah. But times changed. HIPAA law came to be. You couldn't just show up and start walking around anymore. It had to be scheduled. So the rabbi asked me if I would become part of the team. It was Avram and Bernie, and then I joined the team to be the administrator. I reached out to all of the nursing homes or hospitals or wherever they wanted to go, and I made arrangements for us to do this. And we went together for, let's call it a dozen years, the three of us, between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, to blow the shofar at these various places, and also for congregants who had family members who were housebound and couldn't get to shul. And what I learned many things while doing this. One of them was the mitzvah is hearing it, not the blowing of it. It's the hearing of it. And in fact, you're supposed to hear like 100 sounds. And we used to joke that when we were finished with our roving shofar blowing, we had done the mitzvah multiple times between Rosh Hashanah, hearing it at shul, together going and blowing it for all these different locations and people. And then, Yom Kippur at the end or whatever. We had lost count of how many times we had heard all the notes of the shofar. But it was a wonderfully moving experience. And it was really, so I became sort of the one who did some of the English explanation for the people we were blowing it for, and explaining to them that, you know, the mitzvah is that you're just hearing it, that you're moved by it. And the most moving part of that was, so there was a woman who had early onset Alzheimer's. She was at a nursing home nearby. Bernie knew her for decades. He knew her well before she had been afflicted with Alzheimer's. And her Alzheimer's had gotten so bad that, you know, she really was not responsive. But because he knew her from before, he was so lovely and gentle with her and kind and loving to her. So we went into her room, and she had a nurse assigned just to her. We went into her room, and he approached her and he talked to her and he stroked her hand and he put her hand on the shofar and he told her what we were going to do. And we did the brachot and he blew the shofar and she clearly recognized it. To this day, I get goosebumps all over. She turned to him. She heard it. It touched her deep inside somewhere. And she had more response than she had had, according to her nurse, in quite some time. And at that same facility, we went to see Bernie's cousin. And I don't know the age of this man. Again, may he rest in peace. He's passed away. But Bernie had known him most of his life. He was deaf, blind, and mute. But Bernie knew him most of his, his whole life probably. So Bernie approached him. And when he blew the shofar, he took his hand and he had it on the shofar so he could feel the vibration of the shofar. And again, this man responded because of what he was feeling. He couldn't hear it, he couldn't see it, but he could feel it. So these are the things about Judaism that really, touch me and that are so meaningful. How we try to bring this to all of our community in whatever way we can make it meaningful to them. So, and that's sort of one of the things that I think Rabbi Golinkin does a nice job in this book of, bringing out more of that for us to find a way to connect with these prayers. Geraldine.
2 questions. Number 1, did you ever try to blow the shofar?
Yes, I have. And
very good.
I have a shofar and
good.
People have said to me, do you want to blow it? And my answer is no, because I always get a blister. So I just don't like doing it.
Okay. And number 2, what you were talking about is very clearly what a music therapist would do to try to connect with people as well. So I'm just putting a plug for the music therapists in the world. Okay.
I agree with you.
I'm just
And also to me, so
Committee application, okay.
I learned as a
Return
young
to
mom.
Lauren Beal, the mailbox in concierge or in the box.
Hey,
outside.
Marsha.
I'm going to mute Marsha
Girl.
for a minute here. Okay, it's okay. So I learned as a young mom, why do we teach kids the alphabet to sing it? Because when you have a tune to go with it, it's easier to remember, right? Something about music and your brain, it's easier that way. So when I had to teach my kids our phone number, I made up a tune. My daughter was having a really hard time remembering our phone number. So we made up our own tune and we sang it. And right then and there, after she did that, it's like, oh, I know our phone number. So there's something about music, right? And the way it connects in the brain. So, all right. So with all of that, we're going to read the V'ahavta. Okay, so page 155 in Lev Shalem, 508 or 182 in Sim Shalom, depending on your book. And the question is, so does he have it in our, oh, he does. It's also on page 49 in the Ein Eloheinu blue textbook.
And Love Shalom again? I'm
Lev
sorry.
Shalem 155.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I'm happy to read, but I would also love to call on anyone. If anyone wants, you don't have to read to me. Jane? You want to start? Okay, I'd love for you to start.
Okay. At Biahafta.
Mm-hmm.
Biahafta et Adonai Elohevha. Bechol levavecha.
Levavcha. So levav, the second vet has a shva under 2 dots, so it's just the second v sound.
Levavecha.
No, levavcha. If you look at it,
Oh, okay.
Levav.
Levav.
Right, it's like a double V, but the first one has a va and the second one has no, so it's levavcha.
Levavcha.
Perfect.
Uv kol nef shecha.
Okay, except under the nun, there's a straight line for na.
Naf shecha.
Perfect, very good.
Uvacha. No, is this again?
Yeah, you're right.
Uvav.
No, so the second
no.
one, you have
Oh no. Uvakol.
chol. There's no
Chol.
dot in the middle, yeah.
Uvachol odecha.
Exactly. Uvachol mi'odecha. Very good. Thank you. Anyone else volunteering to read? All right, I'll read. Oh, yeah, Lorraine. Perfect. Lorraine, I would love for you to read, please.
The Hayu, Hadvarim, Ha'ele, Asher, Anochi, Mitzavcha.
Yes, mitzavcha. That dot in the middle means nothing.
Okay, thank you. Hayom, Al Levavecha.
Beautiful. Okay,
Keep going.
Geraldine, were you volunteering to read the next sentence? You don't have to. You're muted, so it's up to you.
With your guidance, mentor sensei, I shall.
Thank you.
You want to help me with the first word? No.
Yes. So the
Vishinatam.
Nan, so there's a double nun, so vishinan tam.
Vishinantam.
Perfect.
Levet, oh my. Levaneca.
Levanecha, yes.
Levaneca. Vedibarta.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Bam.
Bomb.
Bam.
There's a little T under there, bomb.
Veshivtika.
Yes.
Vevetica.
Vevetecha.
Veveteca.
Yep.
Uvletica.
Yes.
Vaderic.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ooh. 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 No. Vishuk.
Okay, so I'm gonna help you. So we're gonna every 2 letters, do 2 letters, 2 letters, 2 letters. So uv shach becha.
Oh. Uv shak becha. What I don't understand. Wait a minute. Uv shak becha. Okay. Uv kumeka.
Perfect. There you go. Uv kumecha.
Okay, I'm done.
Very nice. That was excellent. Any other yes, Barbara, I was hoping you'd get up your nerve. You can do this.
Ukshartam leot al yadecha veha you letotafot ben enecha.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You want to do the last line too or not?
Okay. Uchtavtam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha.
That was perfect and lovely. All right. I'm going to read it through from start to finish, just so we have it as a recorded connection, and then we'll be done. All right. I'll start at the beginning. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Okay, excellent.
But would you just please just do line 1, 2, 3, 4 again, please? I'm in Lev. Are you in Lev? Line
Yeah, I'm
2?
in Lev. Yeah, so beveitecha is the first word.
Yes, please.
Okay. Beveitecha uvlechtecha vaderech uvshachbecha uvkumecha.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I enjoyed this class a lot. So let me take a look at our book, and I'll send you an email midweek suggesting maybe we'll do something again in Ein Keloheinu and summarizing what we did today and hopefully having the recording in it. Okay, is that a good plan?
Thank you.
My pleasure,
you.
ladies. I really enjoy spending time with you.
And thank you, Eileen, for the idea.
My pleasure. I
Bringing
needed
us back to the book. It's a really nice book. There's a lot going on in this book. There's a lot to take in. So
Excuse me, Rachel, did you send last week's recording?
I
Yes.
did.
Oh.
I sent it. So in the email, I also sent an email this morning asking everyone to bring their book. If you just scroll down in that email, the recording is embedded in that email
From last week.
from last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted that one and I didn't see it.
I'm pretty sure I sent it on Tuesday.
Yeah, I think you
Oh,
did.
wow. I didn't get that.
Thank you,
Okay.
I'll
Rachel.
send it to you, Edith.
No, she says it's in the one she sent today. So that's, I mean, yes, whenever.
Okay. So
It's in the
Edith,
latest one she
check your
sent, so that
spam.
will work.
Maybe
Huh?
for some reason it went to spam. So check your
That could have
spam.
happened. I've been having trouble with my internet.
Yeah. So take me out of spam and then I'll come to your regular email.
I'll check.
Okay, ladies.
Thank you,
I gotta
Rachel.
run because I got a
So
meeting.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
So I
shalom.
won't be here next